You probably have no idea how cool you actually are. Most people live their lives in service to this external authority. Mom, dad, university, boss, boyfriend, girlfriend, etc. It's some authority outside of themselves, and they don't consider what their own inner authority is. Now, this inner authority tells us what's actually going on inside of us, while the external authority tells us what's going on outside of us. Each of us have a different internal authority that helps us place ourselves within the context of external authority in ways that are appropriate for us. So in human design, there are 7 internal authorities. The first one is emotional. If you have that center defined, that's the solar plexus, you have emotional authority. It's one in which when you listen to your emotions and you exhaust the emotional energy, you're rewarded with emotional awareness. Then that emotional clarity becomes the thing that tells you whether or not you're synced up with the external authority. Half the people in the world have this emotional authority. The next authority we have is sacral. This is going to be the guttural responses to life. The sacral is there to let you know if you have energy for that thing. And the only prerequisite to have sacral authority is that you do not have solar plexus authority, emotional authority. So if that one is white and that one is colored in, defined, you have sacral authority. Now let's say that this sacral is not colored in, but this spleen is colored in. That's splenic authority. The splenic authority places a lot of value in what is viable, what is vital, what is safe, what is healthy for you. It will speak to you in these little whispers, and sometimes it will also just like fuck you up, like your head gets foggy or your throat starts to close up, like physical sensations to alert you that something is not safe or not for you. That's the splenic authority. Now, if you don't have the splenic authority, you might have the ego authority. The ego is all about willpower. What do you have the will for? And it's different than sacral. It's not just It's when things get tough, what am I willing to persevere for? What is my deep, deep why? If you don't have that defined and you have this defined, you might have the self-projected authority. The self-projected authority right there in the G center is one that needs to guide itself. So you need to reflect with somebody, not for advice, but just to hear yourself talk. Journal, voice memo, and listen back to yourself. You're looking to find the truth in your self-projected, self-guiding authority. And if you don't have that defined, maybe you have that defined. That's the environmental authority. The environmental authority, as you can imagine, is very close to the external authority, which again is the world around you. It's really important for this person to pulse the environments to test whether or not this environment is for them. You are particularly looking for the type of recognition that lights you up and gives you energy. If nobody in the environment is recognizing you or the environment isn't welcoming you in, you don't feel that, probably not your vibe. Now, if you have none of these centers defined, say your body graph looks something like this, which is my body graph, you have a lunar authority. You're here to wait 28 days to make big decisions. That 28 days is for you to move through a lunar cycle and determine for yourself with your unique dance with the moon whether or not something is going to be for you. I've also discovered, having this authority, that it's really important to have this 28 days to watch and see what everybody else does. If someone doesn't want to give you 28 days to do your thing, to make decisions, to make sure that the decisions that you make are good for you, fuck them. This, by the way, is my body graph with the transits. This is like the current energy. And this is what my body graph looks like with the current transits, which this doesn't change my body graph. You can see the gold right here. That's the transits. The green is me. It doesn't change who I am. It just gives me access to different stuff, but it does so temporarily. So it doesn't change my authority. It just gives me temporary access to new channels and new activations. And like I said in the beginning, you probably have no idea how awesome you are because you've yet to tap into your actual inner authority. You've probably been living your life according to this external authority. So hopefully you learned something about what internal authority means. And if you don't already have your body graph, click my face, click the link in my bio, go generate a body graph. It's totally free. I have reports that I sell that will tell you all about all these numbers and the channels, if you have any, your authority, your strategy, and a whole bunch of other stuff.